Ancient computer. There it is.
Man, you always talk right at the introduction, man. I'm about to do my thing, and then you step on it, dude. I hate that. Stop doing that.
Stop doing it. I'll stop doing it. Go do your thing. I want you to do your thing.
Oh.
Did I ruin the moment again?
Somebody's got somebody.
Did I ruin your thing?
Oh, okay. I'm back. Ready? Here we go. Almost 3, 2, 1. Woo! What is up, party people? It's your boy Mutt-Man. We're back in business, and we got Macho with us too, as you well know, because he stepped all over. Stepped all over my introduction. So anyway, this is Comics and Whatever with Macho, and tonight is going to be a lot of fun. We got some very interesting things to talk about and some cool people. So Macho, why don't you just lead us in?
Yes, Comics and Whatever with Mutt and Macho. This is episode number 2, everybody. And yeah, number 2, we've gone a long way. And we're really starting off with a bang, I think. Like, we got some really awesome up-and-coming creators like right off. It's pretty killer to get people like that. So I'm really excited about it. And so what we always do, we did it last night, and we're just going to continue the tradition of episode 2 is just giving an update. And I wanted to say a couple things about the update because you kind of talked about a lot of the stuff last night. But this is our hero update, our comic Hero Blood Patriots. We're in demand. We passed our goal for color, so we're doing great, and we're really pumped. I wanted to let everybody know, still no stash cash. That's not happening yet. So don't buy anything because I don't want to see it happen. All right. But we do. One other thing that I wanted to let everybody know is that we had a fan art contest, and we have been slacking. We've slacked, but the fan art contest is still like it's happened. We have all the submissions. We just need to find time to go over it, and we've wanted to do that, but we thought that it's got to be its own episode instead of with people on the show interviewing. We really want to focus on them when they're with us, so it's not going to be tonight. Sorry. Life is crazy. That's literally what I wrote on my little primer thing here. So other than that, I'm going to be in the mountains for a few days, next couple days, so we might have a little interruption in between our regularly scheduled Comics and Whatever. Mutt, what are you up to in the next couple days?
I'm also going on a little trip. It'll be a working trip. I'll be busy, but I will be drawing comics during this trip. I will be working on Hero during this trip, and I'll also be having some family time, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But that's what I'll be doing over the next few days. You're going to be up in the mountains, and I'll be out in the country, out in the bumpkins in Tennessee.
Right. Sweet. Well, I'll be in West Virginia. You'll be in Tennessee.
Yeah, baby. That's cool. Ain't no place I'd rather be.
That's right. West by God, man. All right. So that's exciting. But yeah, tonight though, we've talked about us for just a couple minutes. What we really got to talk about is my Macho mystery guest for tonight. And I actually have two for one tonight. I'm really excited. Got to talk to these guys just for a couple minutes, and we've been DMing back and forth on Twitter. But who I have tonight is none other than the Magic Cop duo, Brandon and Phil from Magic Cop. Come on out, guys. Turn those cameras on. There we go. What's up, guys?
Oh yeah!
Oh yeah! Perfect. I heard that you're gonna throw down a little.
That was a nice
Macho contest. That was a good one.
Thanks.
So what's going on, guys? How we doing?
Nothing much. Excited to show and bring Magic Cop to all of the fans out there, new readers, and just kick off a new fun comic for everybody. Definitely.
Heck yeah, that sounds great. How you doing tonight, Brandon?
Good. Can you let's see if you could hear me.
I can hear you better.
Oh yeah. Good, all right. I got my lav mic, so that should be better.
Perfect. Awesome. Now, brothers, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you guys in the same house right now?
Yes.
Yes.
I had a feeling I had to ask. Cool. That's pretty cool. So a brother team, nothing like family. So it's kind of cool because like Mutt and I are really close in proximity. He's upstairs and I'm down. No, I'm just playing. We're not that close, but we are close in proximity. We've been friends for a long time. Obviously, you guys have known each other your whole lives. What's it like working with your brother? Is it sometimes you guys butt heads and you like fight and stuff, or are you guys pretty cool all the time?
You know, from my perspective, it's working out really, really well because I don't know, we've known each other our whole lives, and we have that same exact sense of humor and the same kind of thought process, and so there's not too much of like button heads. Maybe the only thing would be like he's heard my joke a million times and it's like, come on already with that, you know. So
That's the way I feel about Macho too.
Yeah,
I understand
right,
that
yeah.
completely.
but
That's
you know, maybe Phil has a different perspective, but I think it's probably one of the best things that you could do because, well, if you have a good relationship with your brother or whoever,
Yeah,
it works out
Yeah.
super well.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, same thing for me. It's just when he's slacking drawing other things other than pages, I gotta
Yeah.
tell him to get on those pages.
I feel you, Phil. But that's the worst thing I could have said. I understand what you're saying right now. I have to get on Mutt all the time. I'm just playing. He's pretty good, but it is something. It's different when you work with somebody you've known for a long time, and a lot of comics projects are with people that team up and may not know each other when they start. So I always think it's kind of cool to see like how a comic comes out when it's with people that are close. So I'm excited to see some more Magic Cop tonight. I think Phil has some stuff to share, but. Yeah, so I am going to share in the chat in just 1 second. There is a mailing list, and it's at zadecomics.com, and you can read the pilot issue, correct?
Yeah, you get to read that free. And that's something that we're going to have on the Indiegogo as well, that you could get as like an ash can for print, as well as some making of pages. We're going to do like a supplemental book that comes with the full graphic novel, and I'm going to re-letter it because that was like my first attempt at lettering. So I've grown now and re-lettered that whole pilot issue and add some behind the scenes looks at the intellectual property.
How do you letter? Can you go just tell me real quick how you letter? Because I got to learn how to do that too.
Yeah, sure. It's being a writer, I love the lettering process because it gives me, another pass at the words going on the page.
Yeah.
So I can kind of edit too while I do that. But I use Manga Studio or Clip Studio Pro.
Right.
It has a lot of tools that are great for lettering. You can make a bunch of different types of balloons. You could make custom balloons in there and different tails, and put different strokes around them, and it's just awesome for lettering. And that whole program is great for creating comics.
If someone wanted to get that, how much would that cost them?
I don't know, Bren, do you know how much it cost?
They don't make Manga Studio anymore. Now it's called Clip Studio Pro. But my suggestion would be to go on Amazon and buy it because they have infrequently they'll have a really good like 90% off sale where the program is like $30 instead of $200. That's when you pick it up. It's really, really invaluable. Even for that's really how I started drawing, was going in there and using kind of like those body models and posing them and then tracing out the bodies and stuff like that. So
cool.
Works out really well.
Nice. Cool. So let's get into what Magic Cop is all about. I've read the first issue, and number one, I gotta applaud you for your choice of colorist, because it happens to be the same colorist we're using, and that guy is Eugene. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah, Eugene. I call him Eugene.
Yeah. He's incredible. He's fantastic, and he I like specifically on your book, I think really hit the 80s vibe. Like the Miami Vice 80s vibe is really cool. But let's talk about the book itself. So Phil is the writer and Brandon is the artist. How did this idea come about? And can you guys tell me kind of like what the how you got the idea and how it got to where it is today?
Well, I think a lot of the ideas Brandon and I come up with always start off as jokes. Like even when we were kids driving around in our parents' the backseat of our car, just talking and spitballing and being like, "Oh, it'd be funny if this guy had this power that was really useless, and that's one of our characters that will be in our next project that we do. But Magic Cop, we work for a arcade company, and Brandon just pulled. He thought that he was working on some art for an arcade game, and he couldn't remember the name, so he said it's like Magic Cop or something, and he just pulled it out of his his ass, and then so that we're like, what would Magic Cop be? This cop that's like a wizard, and then we're like, oh, it should be totally 80s style because Brandon was like, oh, 80s is coming back right now.
Yeah, yeah.
And so the idea was basically we were designing this side-scrolling beat 'em up arcade game, like Bad Dudes or Ninja Turtles in Times, Double Dragon, stuff like that. And so we're like, okay, well, let's start designing it on our off time. And we came up with 4 characters, and I came up with a bunch of different bosses and different levels that they would go through. And it went to as far as the point where we made like different story modes for each character, and then actually created like a flow chart of this. Once you beat this guy, you go on to this guy and stuff like that. Stuff that we will probably put in the behind the scenes of our book. And yeah, so I had all this backstory, and we didn't really get a chance to put that into full production because we wanted to be 2D animation. And I had, love writing and have had writing experience writing just some comics that we did back in the day. And we're like, hey, we should just do this.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
So Brandon did like a test page to see if, to practice on his storytelling through a page layout. And then we're like, okay, this could go somewhere. I started plotting out the full graphic novel, and then Brandon started drawing that 12-page pilot issue, which was originally 5 pages. And I'm like, I want to add some more background story to it. So we extended it to 12, and then we're here now. Yeah. So
I think
killer.
It's a lot of it came from when we had the idea from the game and stuff like that. But then when Phil was checking out like the whole Comicsgate scene and like all the way that everybody was coming together online on IndieGoGo and just how successful everything could be, it was really something like, wow, this is actually something that you could do as an independent artist that could never have been done before without being a major corporation. And so that really is what drove us to follow through with it. So
man, that's awesome. I like to hear how people come about doing this. Where you guys, I see like in Philip's room or Phil's room, there's like a bunch. You have like a Lobo figurine and like Swamp Thing and stuff like that. Yeah. So obviously, you guys are comics guys before.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool. That's cool. Like, and we talked to Cody last night, and he was like, "Yeah, really, I've always been around comics, but I'm not really a comics guy." And it's really interesting to see how people from different areas and different like levels of nerddom come into this, like whatever we're gonna call it right now, if it's CG or Team Comics or Indie Comics or Revolution or whatever it is, and how you guys and all of us together collectively make this group. So it's kind of neat to see that. Go ahead.
Phil's the comic book guy. I've always been like into superheroes and watching the cartoons and stuff like that. I've never really been one to read comics, but I love the art, and that's what really drives and draws me into like that whole superhero genre and scene, like the art and the colors and everything. But Phil has like the whole complete understanding of stuff, and even when I'm doing page layouts or drawing some art and stuff, he's like, make it like this because I've seen this done and it works really, really well. And it's something that I don't have. And so, that collaborative effort of, both of us working together, but him having that comics knowledge, like that guy you were talking about, who's not really a comic book guy, but it works.
Yeah. Cody, he's the writer, but he gives his stuff to an artist, and the artist is putting it together. And that's kind of like for Mutt-Man, that's kind of how we work. And when we were on Billy Tucci's show, he kind of said, he was like, you guys have like the Stanley Kirby method. And I just think of crazy things, and I say, Mutt, do this crazy thing. And then I let him figure out how to put it together. But you guys are a little bit different because he's the writer and he's like, and you're asking him for how to put it together. So it's kind of neat to see different methods and whatever works for people. I mean, you got to do what works for your team, and there's no specific way that needs to happen. So, like I said, I think it's fascinating to see how people work together. But that's cool. And did you say that you worked for an arcade company? Is that?
Yeah. You take that, Brent.
Okay, so we work for a company that it's like a lot of different things going on there, but one of the most predominant facets of it is this arcade. It's actually the largest arcade in the world. So,
wow,
really?
That's
awesome.
It's here in Chicago area. It's the Galloping Ghost Arcade.
Really?
But,
cool.
Yeah, if you guys want to look it up, it's got the largest collection of video game arcades publicly available. And so we worked there for a while, and now we work in the production offices where we do video game design. And we're currently working on a video game with the production company, and at the same time, because the arcade does need some reproduction art or some other stuff for it, if we find an old beat up cabinet, I get to do a lot of reproduction art pieces for old arcade games that have gone out. Yeah.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
Sounds like you guys are kind of like, you really are kind of like in a real weird niche, well, not weird, but you're in a real niche-y kind of like business, which has kind of allowed you to get into comics from there. So you kind of like, so you kind of jumped out of arcades into comics, and that probably feeds into the 80s vibe that you've got in your Magic Cop book, right?
Yeah, it really does. Because like Phil was saying, the whole Magic Cop idea is stemming from the side-scrolling beat 'em up games from the late 80s and early 90s, Bad Dudes, Double Dragon, stuff like that. And so, that's the whole vibe. But the really cool thing, I think you're trying to say, is we have so many tools at our disposal because of where we are. Sorry, my camera is falling here. And
That's okay.
and so it's kind of permitted us this pathway into working in comics and getting this kind of art chops and writing chops going on. Even Phil was doing some video game story writing and stuff before we started doing this thing too. So it kind of really fell into place for everything for us,
that's super cool. And I think that's something that if it was me, I would play that up, especially when you're putting your IndieGoGo page together. I would put that in the there's a section that's I guess who you are and the team or whatever, and I would put that in there because that's really fascinating to me. And that makes me, I think it makes me, I know it makes me more excited about the book. You guys are in this weird video game culture world, and it's just it fits and it flows kind of with this kind of stuff. And I don't know, I think I'd put that in there if it was me. Use it as a tool for yourself to set yourself apart from other people in video games and stuff like that. Video games and comics, nerd culture go hand in hand. So
yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Well, I want to know about the characters. Can you guys tell me about some of the characters that you've made?
Yeah, sure. So once we talk about this, you guys will definitely see that this was gonna be originally a side-scrolling beat 'em up arcade game. So just like any 4-player side-scrolling beat 'em up, we have 4 characters you could choose from. Your basic guy, who's our protagonist, his name's Ignatius Cromwell. He's basically like our Sonny Crockett, Miami Vice.
What a
character.
Great name.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, it took us a while for me to come up with that one. And Eggy for short, Eggy Cromwell. He's got Brendan, awesome design here. I'm gonna share the screen.
Muddle white box you.
So
if you can figure out his computer, he's kind of a boomer.
So this is I don't know if we've shown this off yet, but this is kind of like our title page for the graphic novel.
Yeah.
And this is Eggy Cromwell. He's new to the force. the police force over there. And I think Brandon's design for him is awesome, giving him the wizard sleeves
Yeah,
on
I love it. I love
his
it.
Miami Vice outfit here.
Yeah.
And he has his magic wand in his shoulder holster. The magic wand is passed down through generation to generation, landing in his hands, and then him getting out of the academy straight to detective on the force. And then behind him is Heli. She's a witch detective on the team, and she goes undercover as a prostitute to investigate, prostitution rings in the city, and she's a big help in the story. Very flirty, that '80s sexy chick that in those all those '80s crime TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Eugene killed it on the colors here, especially for that smoke, because I referenced, I'm like, I want the smoke of the Wicked Witch of the West from Wizard of Oz, that dense red smoke.
Yeah.
And so that's going to be her thing, which is awesome.
That's cool.
So
Yeah.
does her gun shoot that smoke? Is that what that is?
No, she didn't have the gun out, and then she poofed it into existence.
Poofed the gun into existence. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah, and then let me find some other characters here. But yeah, and then we have Graywolf, who is Iggy's new partner, because again, Ignatius just came onto the force, so Graywolf is on the edge of retirement, and pull up a picture of him right here. On the edge of retirement, and he's like, actually, he's the story is kind of mostly about him, who he is, and why he's doesn't really care for the job anymore. He doesn't have the excitement that he used to. He used to be this gung-ho detective that is very decorated, and now he's just out of it. And the station kind of wants him to retire, so they throw this new guy into his lap, and Ignatius has to try to work him, put some vigor back into his system. So that's Graywolf in the back there.
That's great. Man. Just the more I hear about this, the more I'm getting excited. This is right up my alley. I like it.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah. And the big part of the story also is the bad guys, right? So that, especially with it, how it was going to be an arcade game, you need those really cool, iconic boss fights. And I had designed a handful of them. So in this book, we have, let me see, let me go back here.
Don't dox yourself.
No, I'm good. I just don't want to. There we go. This one's good. So this is our chapter 2 cover. The book's gonna have 4 chapters in it.
That's
and
awesome.
This in the background here is a character named Madam Sith, and she is the basically madam of this prostitution ring in Ambrosia City. So she's the head of the ring, and all of the the prostitutes answer to her. So you meet her at the end of the first chapter, and she was actually going to be our first boss in the game. She's like this kind of Medusa Gorgon character that Brandon put a really cool twist on her design, giving her the human features under this kind of like steak mouth, so you could still see her lips and her face, and the snakes coming out of her hair. So
that's awesome. Yeah. I've seen that. I think I've seen that image. You shared that, or that's been out. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah. So and then we got a bunch of supporting characters. There's the captain of the force, whose name's Cap. And then we have a leprechaun, a giant leprechaun that we're actually
I saw this the other day. You teased something out about that too.
Yeah. I think we're gonna we could show you the colored version, because the color version is so awesome. We're gonna put a video out about it tomorrow for our Magic Cop Monday videos on our YouTube channel.
Okay, cool.
So where is this?
I love that he's a giant leprechaun.
Yeah. So he's half giant, half leprechaun.
That's hilarious.
So he's like normal size. He's normal size.
He's half giant, half leprechaun, so he's normal size.
He ends up being a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
He has big old wrists, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he's pretty jacked. And like I wanted to give him this kind of like funny quirk where he's like always eating. So
Yeah.
he's got a sandwich in his hand, and
Yeah.
He's like Brad Pitt from Ocean's 11. He always has something in his hand. That's
yeah.
great.
And Eugene just killed it on these colors. He actually put in the palm trees on the shirt too.
Oh, that's great.
So that was really cool. So I think we're gonna throughout the book we're gonna have him in different like kind of Hawaiian shirts,
Mhm.
and he's like the fun-loving, gentle giant guy that is kind of a goof sometimes. He goes undercover to stake places out, but yeah, he's super fun to write and to see actually drawn out. It's
That's
awesome.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of those things about Eugene is he has a lot of different texture that he adds to a lot of his pages, and like I
Mhm.
don't see it in yours, but in a lot of our colored work, he has this like it's almost a dirty or grungy look, like it's like something got splashed on a piece of paper, and it has like those stain rings of water stain or whatever.
Mhm.
And on a lot of ours, he has it like in the background and in a lot of these different like areas you wouldn't normally think to do. Like he just does a lot of little
Yeah.
extras like that,
Well,
and he really is killing the color on this.
yeah, the great thing about Eugene is I think he really gets a feel of the book he's working on,
Mm-hmm.
and he'll do completely different things to our book than
Yep.
he's going to do with your book
Yeah,
because it
100%.
it's that it brings that thematics to the
Mm-hmm.
page. And when I was first talking with him, I'm like, yeah, 80s, we want that half tone to be like that retro vibe for the pages and just
Mm-hmm.
really bright. And when he does skies, like in our book, like the lighting for
Yep.
the skies are awesome. You
Looks like a
totally
lot of
get,
beautiful sunsets. He's putting all
yeah,
kinds of crazy colors in
definitely,
there.
and it just sets you in that coastal vibe
Yeah.
that we're trying to hit.
Oh
So
man.
yeah, he's killing it on that.
That's excited. I'm excited about that. So once again, everybody, I'm going to put in the chat if you're there. There's a link to it's zadecomics.com, which you can go and download their or read their pilot issue. It's 12 pages, right?
That's right.
So yeah, everybody should go watch that now, or download that and read it now. Also, I'm going to put in a link to their IndieCron if you want learn a little bit more. Is there stuff that you wanted to go over on that too, Phil, about your IndieCron?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to pull that up and we can lightbox that, I could just give you that pitch on there basically. So
Sure.
the story is, like I said, Eggy Cromwell is our magic cop. So in this world, there's multiple magic cops from different families, and it's basically a lineage. If you're part of this bloodline, then you're going to become a magic cop. So he's straight out of the academy, gets to be a detective at the Ambrosia PD Police Department, and some of the detectives there have some animosity towards him because they think he's like this rich kid that just, he's got a magic wand, so he gets straight on the force, no problem. But it's his first case on the force, and he has to learn to work with his new partner, a wolf man named Graywolf, who's on the verge of retirement. And their first case is tracking down and investigating a murder of a mermaid hooker. Yeah. So yeah, and they uncover a bunch of skeletons in the closet of the city, quite literally, and yeah, and basically the ending tagline is "Hot beach babes, hot crime," and the only detective with the spells to stop it is Magic Cop. So
What are Magic? I may have missed this, but what are Magic Cop's powers? Or what can he do?
So he's basically a wizard, and that wand makes his powers even more immense. So writing a character like that can basically do anything that he could think of, it could be difficult or it could be too easy. So you might, when you're writing like Dr. Fate or something, he can do whatever he wants. So you need to put limitations on him. And in this book, he's kind of gun shy because he's fresh to the force, and he could do anything, but he's kind of hesitant to because he's so new. And so that's the
Yeah.
main struggle with him and his story arc throughout this book is we have to see if he can learn to use his powers correctly and know when to do so.
Okay.
That's cool.
Mhm.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So and Graywolf, you said he's kind of like a grizzled veteran. Does he? He's a big dog man. Does he have any like specific talents or anything like that you can share? Or is he just kind of like he's the Danny Glover to this situation?
Definitely, yeah. He's the old timer. He's been around the block, and yeah, he's a wolf man, and we'll see why he's a wolf man and what leads him to be this way. Why he's so hardened, and yeah, I mean, he's got big claws, man. He could, cut through stuff.
Right.
Yeah, if
and
you check out the preview issue, he does let loose a little bit in the preview issue.
Yeah.
So.
And he's got his trusty shotgun. What's that shotgun called, Brandon?
The good boy.
Yeah, that's the good boy.
Oh my gosh, I love it. That's awesome.
Shotgun.
That's so good.
And,
cool.
And like Heli, she's a spellcaster, so she helps put disguises on people when they're going undercover. She does little spells to wire the detectives up, so the like Ohara can hear in on conversations when they go into places. And actually, if you guys look at the, I'll pull up an image though. It's pretty cool. Let's see here. This is from our the 12-page.
I didn't see how to get to that on IndieCron.
Oh, there should be.
There's a link on IndieCron. If you go right beside the big Magic Cop image, beside it there's like you see Connect, and it has like Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and underneath it says Stay Updated and it's join the mailing list. That's
right on. Okay.
And it's Derek Galvin in the chat, which is Cody from Wisdom Comes. He said he gave the classic line from I'm getting too old for this. That's exactly what I thought, but that's so good. That's so funny.
So then I have, if you could white box me here, this is a page from one of the pages from the Karaoke Express pilot issue, and these guys here are the Night Squad. They're kind of like our SWAT team, and Brandon did an awesome design on them.
So
basically cool. Knights. They got crossbows, and yeah, I just wanted to highlight that because that's really cool. We're trying to bring in, the modern day, mixing the 80s feel with the medieval feel.
Right. Yeah, this is cool.
Yeah. So
there's a lot of classic design in here, not just like European medieval architecture. So we do have like this area of the city is called Little Camelot, and then there's other areas of the city that are for other classic styles like Japanese architecture, or like you could see there one of the enemies, or I don't know if you saw them on that page, but one of the enemies in Karaoke Express is like a samurai. So there's a lot of that classic style in there, which is really fun to bring in to that modern 80s style and like kind of bring the worlds together. On the first page of the actual story that's launching in August, there's a whole skyline, and you could see like the different building architectures in the skyline of the city. So there's a lot of cool mixtures of things in there too.
That's cool. And the guys, so when I read the issue, there's a guy getting interrogated, and he's like I can't remember what they call him right now, but he's basically like one of those stone men that get their souls trapped inside.
Yeah, like a golem or a kabuki.
A kabuki, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, kabuki mask. And I thought it was really clever. Like he's like the henchman, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was. I like stories like this. I like it when to read a comic where people are taking things that are like known, like a kabuki is like a known entity within like Chinese culture or whatever, and then you can add it to this like more modern story. So this is right up my alley. I think it's really cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome to hear.
It's fun to write, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet it's really fun to write. And that's like you read stuff like this sometimes and I'm like, oh gosh, that was such a good idea. Why did I not think of that? That's a great idea. So yeah, I'm into it, man. Yeah, the little kabuki guys, and they break their faces and their soul flows out of their body.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, that was a little last minute decision we were throwing back and forth, but I think it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. And the issue was good. It told a story, and it was what you needed to see. I like their sweet magic sports car.
Yeah.
That's
Look at that.
good.
Is it they both drive, or how does that work?
So
it's just like two cockpits.
Yeah, it's just like two cockpits in the car. I designed it to just be outlandish and like ridiculously 80s style, but also really magical.
Yeah.
I figured, what's more magical than a unicorn? And we really couldn't figure out a way to fit a unicorn in the universe without it being overtly a unicorn. So we created the car, and the car is actually called the Unicorn.
That's awesome.
And this right here is going to be our main cover for the book. It's by Pablo Romero.
Yeah.
And as soon as we saw his art, it's totally 80s.
Yes.
We had to nab him up to do something for us, and this just turned out so good. We're going to put it as our cover.
That's great. Yeah.
And then, like I said, each chapter is going to have its own cover by Brandon. So we're going to have 4 chapter covers.
Cool. So how big? Is the book going to be then?
So the book is going to be 88 pages of story.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So 4 chapters ranging from, I think a couple of the chapters are 20 pages on the other 2 or 24 pages, something like that. But yeah, it comes out to, not including the covers, it's going to just written story. It's going to be 88. And then we're also going to offer that pilot issue revamped with the lettering and some behind the scenes stuff.
Very cool.
Talking about
do you guys have a target date for launch yet?
Yeah, so we're gonna launch the end of August. I think probably like the 3rd week in August.
Very cool.
Yeah, so everything's coming together. We're working on a trailer right now. Working on our campaign page. Thinking about doing a pre-launch page because I know I can add the people that sign up for the IndieGoGo pre-launch to my actual mailing list and have everybody on one thing. And yeah, trying to talking to some artists to see if we can get a variant cover for the pilot issue.
Sweet.
Just to push some more people to come on in and look at the page, stuff like that.
Awesome. Yeah, I would suggest definitely just do an IndieGoGo mailing list page, like pre-launch page. You might as well. People will start sharing it. The more you can get yourselves out there, the better. It's just another thing that people will click on and look at. Try to compile that list. We've compiled a list. We haven't, I don't know if we've sent anything out specifically on that other than when we launched to let everybody know, hey, it's out there. Please go get it. But it is good. We're going to probably use it to keep in contact with everyone from time to time throughout our throughout the fulfillment of our campaign and things like that. Cool. So I had I
got a question real quick.
Okay. Yeah. Go.
Where did Zaid Comics come from?
Oh, that's a good question.
Oh, man, you're trying to dox us right now.
Oh man, no, okay. If it's anything like that, I apologize. I'm sorry.
I'm just joking around. Zaid has always been like a thing that we've had going on. I know there's like an anti-comic book guy with the last
lawyer.
name.
Yeah, Mark Zaid.
Yeah, that's right.
Whenever I'm in
him, but I mean it's well known that our last names are Diaz, so our last name is Zaid backwards.
Yeah, I got it. Clever,
cool, man. Yeah, that is clever. That's clever, and it's a good Comicsgate villain name too.
It is. It is. All right, so I figured I would have a little bit of fun with you guys. So
how much fun are we talking?
As much fun as you can have on a live stream. All right. So here's what I want to do. Let me get to something here. And Mutt, if you will white box my screen, I would appreciate that.
Done.
All right, I'm white box. Good. So here we go. So I figured we could find out what your wizard names are going to be. And so I did a test one earlier. But let's start with Phil. When were you born, Phil?
September.
September. All right. Let's find out, guys, together.
Oh.
Gandalf Jadis.
All right, I'll take it.
All right, there we go.
Nice, Gandalf Jadis. I like that.
Yeah, Gandalf Jadis.
Sounds kind of evil, that Jadis.
Yeah. All right, now, Brandon, what about you?
August.
August. All right. Let's find out. Cirque Voldemort.
Hey, Cirque Voldemort. Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right, guys.
A couple of evil wizards here.
Yeah. Evil wizard brothers. Perfect. All right, and then we might as well do Mutt. All right. And when was your birthday? Earlier in the year.
Why don't you tell me, friend? Who should know?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. Let me check Facebook.
The truth comes out.
What a... It's in August, man. And now because you didn't know it, no, you weren't. No, you weren't. And I expect a good gift now that you've totally,
Mustrum Voldemort. You're also a Voldemort.
Yes.
I got you a really good gift one year.
One time.
You remember that one time that I got you a really good gift?
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate that.
I can't remember what mine was. When's my birthday?
Yours is in October.
Nope. Thanks, friend. Well done.
Sorry.
Medea Yaga. Medea Yaga.
Yeah.
Medea.
That's cool. I'll go with Medea. All right, good. Well, I just wanted to see what you guys thought of your wizard names tonight.
Yours was definitely the worst.
Yeah.
Medea Yaga. That's awful. That's terrible. All right. Let's see. Michael Beacon in the chat. I just want to say hey to a couple people in the chat. Cody is in here as multiple people, which is incredible. He's in here as Badass Comics and Derek S. Galvin. But we have Michael Beacon, who is doing his own book that's really cool. And Seven Legions, I think. Seven Legion?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's right. And then he's also doing the SJW Skeletor, which is hilarious.
Yes. I shouted that out last night too, Michael, by the way. And latest episode is really good. I'm not going to spoil anything. Everybody should go watch that. But he said, lawyer, I thought he was a clown. Good thing I didn't hire him for my nephew's birthday. That would have been an awkward phone call. I guess he's talking about Mark Zaid right there.
Yeah.
Also, 4 o'clock vintage. There will not be any karaoke in the actual comic. I'm sorry about that. But if you ask enough, maybe these guys will sing on the show. We also have Keenan Clement, who's doing a cool book called the Prometheus Effect. It's going to be coming out too soon. So, yeah. All right. Let's move on a little bit. We had your wizard names. Let's see. It's 10:15 right now.
We got to do things we like, right?
Yeah. What we're looking forward to. We got to think of a better thing to call it than that. That's just what I typed in my
things we're looking forward to.
That's
the crystal ball, Magic Cop's crystal ball.
There you go. That's it. All right, for this show, it's called the Magic Cop Crystal Ball, and I'm looking into my crystal ball, and I can show you what I'm really looking forward to.
Let's see.
All right, hold on just a second as I share my screen. There is on my Facebook feed, I found this really cool project called Mask. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of that, but it is really just visually, it struck me. It's a cyberpunk comic. It's the second issue, so the creator is selling the first and second issue, and then he's going to do a third issue, and so the first 3 issues as a combo pack. He actually was at 99% on his 3,000 goal, and I was going to actually give it a little push, but it looks like he's gone over it, so he's actually funded now, which is great. But the artwork on it is just really stunning. Some of this great colors. It's got that crazy, cyberpunk sort of like future 80s look to it.
Yeah.
And a lot of great sort of like graphic design elements to it, and a lot of great sort of almost logo effects to it. Very iconic character, like with the black, the white and black mask, and the red hair. Kind of reminded me of Sting from.
I was going to say, it
WCW.
looks like the reverse Sting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and then, but with that red hair and that crazy like long jacket, it has this really, really neat look.
Almost a little bit of the Crow vibe too.
Yeah, definitely got some Crow vibe to it.
Yeah.
And destroying like cybernetic people and stuff like that. But like, check out some of the alternative covers that he's offering.
Cool. That's a cool cover right there.
Yeah, it's really great, and this character just looks just really fun. So I just wanted to shout this out and just kind of make people aware of it. And if you want to check it out and back it, it looks to me like the first issue's already been created. I think the second issue might be close. So yeah, there's a lot of great artwork you can check out on this page.
We lost Phil.
Oh, no.
He got computer blue screened.
He got bored of Mutt talking about something else.
Sorry.
No, cool, man. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. So one thing I'm looking forward to, and you guys, I should have told you guys, Brandon, and that we do this segment. So hopefully you'll have something you can talk about what you're looking forward to. But one thing I am looking forward to, there he is. He's back.
All right.
You there, Phil? Maybe he's back. Anyway, I was looking forward to so our buddy Bruce Patnaud, who has been on before, he's going to be relaunching the Wreck. I saw this just recently, maybe it was yesterday. He had a cool comic, and it's like a Space Marines like team that goes in, and they kind of or were they like the insurance team, kind of like
kind of
Extractors?
Yeah, kind of like
Similar thing.
Similar, but I think the difference is that they're going to kind of a sort of like a ghost ship.
Yeah,
they're trying to figure out what's going on with it.
Yeah, so it's the Wreck is the name of the book. I'm really excited. He didn't make it the first time around that he put it out, and I think one of the things that caused him to stumble was one of the things that caused us to stumble too, which was time of year that he launched.
Yeah.
But it's a really cool book. I can't wait to see that get launched out. I'm not sure exactly when that's going to happen, but it should be pretty cool. So yeah, I'm excited about that. And I've been reading lately. I've been digging in my books, and I got out a bunch of my Sam Keith stuff. So if you guys, Sam Keith, this is issue number 9.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't actually started reading this one yet, but Sam Keith is the man. I was trying to find like a cool, like these dudes right here are like, he's just an incredible artist. Like the big old jaws and all the little meeps down here. They're standing around all the meeps. Anyway, the Max, like this is totally 12-year-old Dan was all about the Max. I have probably most of these issues. So I was going through those earlier. That was kind of what I'm reading right now. What about you guys? Who wants to go first, Brandon or Phil? You guys have something you're looking forward to, or something you're reading?
Phil's the one who's always reading stuff. I don't know.
All right. I got a couple of things. Hold on 1 second. Let me get this book.
Yep.
The last thing that I bought that I still have not read is here.
So, okay, lock it on me because I got a cool picture to show off.
All right.
This might be too mainstream for you guys, but Swamp Thing.
Oh yeah.
Show on DC Universe is awesome. I think I just watched 6 last night, 5 and 6.
Okay.
The series is awesome. I mean, you like practical effects. Swamp Thing looks amazing.
Oh, cool.
He just looks amazing. And, I'm a huge Swamp Thing Alan Moore fan, and, they're taking bits and pieces from his run in the 80s, putting it into the show, staying very truthful to the material and showing off what Swamp Thing can do. Like in episode like 3, he literally rips someone into 6 pieces with Vine, and they show it. Like,
oh
it's
man,
straight up horror.
I really want to watch it. I'm not going to buy the DC streaming service to get it. So I was bummed that it got like, when they going to be on a different like streaming service initially, or was it always going to be on DC? Maybe I'm wrong about that.
It was always going to be on DC.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'll probably try to watch it at some point.
Yeah.
I've always liked Swamp Thing. I have a bunch of Swamp Thing figures. I have one up. I can actually see him right now. He's above my TV.
Yeah.
But I read the run that was somewhat recent. I think Paquette was the artist on it, and it was the one with like the rot. And Swamp Thing, like he went into he was like communing with the green and all this stuff. It was crazy. It was like a really, really cool story. And my buddy lent me the books, and I've had him. Zach actually lent me the books. Jason.
Yeah.
And I've had them for like 3 years. I haven't given them back. So I feel really bad about it. They're sitting in my closet right over there.
Yeah, that's probably the Scott Snyder.
Yeah,
run
maybe it is the
52.
Scott Snyder run.
Yeah, he did a lot of stuff with the rot.
Yeah, it was actually very good though. And I hadn't read any new Swamp Thing since it's been decades, but it was really good. I liked it.
Yeah.
So I kind of do want to watch that show.
Oh, it's really good. And then the other thing I want to talk about is I went to a Half Price Books yesterday, and I was just looking through all their comics and stuff, and I was looking through like if they had any Lobo, or because I'm a huge Lobo fan, so you tell by this shirt and the immense amount of Lobo statues I have. And Bisley is one of my favorite artists, so this is my top 3 favorite covers from Bisley. I found this, which is his Terminator cover from 1991. Awesome. Wow. And he would do these covers and paint them. So I've seen a video walking through like one of his like super fans is like a huge collector of his, and he has the painting. It's like this big like oil painting. It's awesome.
Get that closer to the screen so we can see it.
That's so good, man. Good.
I love that. I love
the steam coming off.
I love the skin on the left side. Look at that.
Like he just teleported in. And I read this. It's pretty good. It takes place after the first movie, and it's a different Terminator who's sent back in time, but he's half man, half Terminator. So he has a human brain and then half mechanical brain. It's pretty interesting. The art's pretty cool, but that cover is just so amazing. I needed that.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Awesome.
That is great.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. I love Simon Bisley too.
Yeah.
And I hadn't seen that before.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of his covers, but I haven't seen that specific one. That is a beautiful cover.
Yeah. Yeah, he does some miniseries. It's called The Enemy Within. And then he does this is the second cover. They have like a preview of it in the back. Another Terminator.
That's cool.
So I need to get the other 3 issues.
Flat top on there.
Yeah. It's badass. Yeah, he's great. What do you have?
Sweet.
What are you excited about, Brandon?
I don't know. I mean, when you went to C2E2, we bought that one book is the only really thing that I have.
Cool.
Okay. So I have this book, and then also I've been into Brian Pulido's comic book series La Muerta.
Yeah.
So Phil bought me, I think, the first issue with that, and then so I read that, and I really like the art in there is really awesome, and the character is super cool, like the whole Latin just architecture of the way that the Dia de los Muertos skull that she has, and she's kind of like a female Punisher. I really like that style. I think that's really, really cool. So I just backed that on Kickstarter. So I'm waiting for that, the next one to come out, which is the 4th issue. And then when we were at C2E2, I bought this this book. It's called The Tommy Gun Dolls.
Yeah.
Heard of that. Yeah.
And the art on here was super cool. I know my lighting in here is not the best, but I really like this kind of like 1920s, roaring 20s looking look to it. And I opened it up, and the art inside of it is just black and white only, and it's just hard inks and everything. And
Beautiful.
yeah, it's super beautiful. And the story was cool. The artist was right there. And I'm like, is this just another, like, these chicks get together and they rob a bank or something? And he's like, no, it's not like that at all. And so he gave me the rundown. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. And I think there's like 3 of these out. And this thing's like, look how thick this thing is. So
great.
Hardcover.
That's a quality book right there.
yeah, this thing is super quality. It was like $25 too. So
that was a Kickstarter, right? Wasn't that a Kickstarter or IndieGoGo?
Yeah, he had some sort of crowdfunding thing on here for the, but I didn't hear of it then. I picked it up at C2E2, but since then I saw it, and he's working on the second one now, I think.
That's awesome.
But yeah,
that's
very
great.
Cool.
Great.
And you also backed Skunk Girl, didn't you, Brandon?
Oh yeah, I did just back Skunk Girl as well.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be pretty exciting. I'm a big fan of the female form, so you get like these sexy chicks, and it's hard for me to turn down.
A lot.
Yeah.
Well, too bad. Manny was actually in the chat last night, and so was Tank Ferret. They were both in the chat last night, and those guys are working on Skunk Girl. So
yeah, he was just watching me stream. I was sketching one of the pages of Magic Cop on Saturday, so he was watching me live stream.
Sweet.
Yeah, so I picked that up, and I got I'm excited because I bought the tier that has the bust. Like
you got the bust.
Yeah.
Dude,
so,
that's awesome. Cool. That's so super cool.
I figured that like we really want to do some really cool stuff like that. And I think by helping out other people, by picking up some crazy tiers like that, I think that's really cool and inspiring to make sure that those people continue what they're doing.
Yeah. Absolutely. Do you guys have any crazy ideas for something you want to do on your campaign?
I know.
Want to share?
I think
you don't have to share anything if you don't want to, but I always like asking people that question.
I know there's always like a big like don't do t-shirts because t-shirts are super expensive, but I think if there's a good enough tier, I think it would be funny to do a very small run of 1980s style Magic Cop members only jackets.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
that would be hilarious.
Great
that
idea.
Would be hilarious.
Great idea.
And I'm a t-shirt person though. I love a good t-shirt. I meant to wear my Lone Wolf t-shirt, Mutt, because I wanted to have it on. So I was hoping Sean would be in the chat. I could be like, look, I got it on tonight.
Oh man.
But I didn't. Anyway, I'm saying that to say I'm a big t-shirt guy. I love a good like weird t-shirt. Yeah. And the guys I work with have started to understand that you never know what you're going to get when I come into work every day. Like the other day I found this t-shirt and it was a bunch of cats like jumping and it was fireworks behind it. And I came in and my boss was like, what are you wearing? But he loved it. He thought it was great. So anyway, you should make a t-shirt. I would probably buy some crazy weird 80s Magic Cop t-shirt. I love a good 80s t-shirt too.
Yeah, that's definitely something we want to do with some cool, unique, 1980s stuff. So
sweet. Yeah, we tried to be really, or I tried to be really creative on the tiers, and some of them were like Mutt didn't get behind. He wasn't behind the Macho's mystery gift that we had. Somebody bought it. One person got the Macho mystery tier. And I got to get 3 items. I'm going to curate 3 items, and I'm going to send them to them that have like a comic or hero theme. So I'm pretty excited.
That one person is going to be you're going to spoil them so bad.
I know, I am. I really am.
Because they're only one that did it.
Yeah.
So you're going to be like, oh well, you're going to basically go way above and beyond, and then they're going to tell their friends.
Yeah, and then next time I'm going to have like. There's only 3 there. The only one got purchased, but next time I'll have 3 and they're going to sell out right away.
That's probably what's going to happen. Yeah,
it's going to sell out. It's going to be so good. So anyway, I get to do that, and like you were talking about that bust, I kind of want to, if I can. I'm not great at sculpting. I'm okay. Like I can do some sculpting. So I was thinking about trying to make like going and getting like a He-Man action figure from like a whatever cheap store and sculpting the hero unit on this like He-Man action figure and then casting it in resin. And I love making stuff like that and like the
Yeah,
whole
that would be
process
awesome.
of making. So I'm going to try to do one of those and do a little mini statue. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, there's I don't remember what it was. Phil would know, but they're doing like that acrylic cutout standee. What's that?
Oh, yeah.
Standee is great.
Carl Rowe for Deathsworn.
Yes,
He's doing one of those standees of his
I
main
think that's a
character.
really
Man, I
cool
wonder how it could get a
cool idea.
standee. That's a great idea.
Yeah, it's like acrylic and it's back printed, so it's real nice and shiny, kind of like a marquee.
Yeah.
And it's flat, so you
Yeah.
just, it's going to ship in a mailer with your comic. I think that's a really good idea.
That's a great idea. We are giving all of our backers, physical backers, I think, have you seen the blockheads? Yeah, blockhead.
Oh,
Yeah.
So they can fold out and like put together their own little action figures. So we're doing that. And you know what's funny? Doug Tenaple, you had to get to $350,000 for you to give away those. We're just doing it because we love our fans. That's all I gotta say.
Hopefully we can get a cool Magic Cop blockhead design. That would be awesome.
You should. So that guy that does blockheads is incredibly cool, really easy to work with, and he just loves doing it. Like, maybe I shouldn't say this out loud, but like he didn't charge anything. He just wants to do them. He just loves to do it.
Did you reach out to him?
I emailed him from the website, and he's not always super fast on email. Just email him, tell him that you think the product's cool, you want to get your comic character on there, and he'll get you to do some like basically a character turnaround of who you want. Get him some colors, and he'll put it together. Like, he's great, really, really awesome person. He does it fast, and it's really neat. It's super cool.
Yeah. It's blockheads.com. I'm going to put it in the chat for you. Real quick.
Cool. Michael Beacon says you could always go to the store like Redbubble or Crypto Fashion. Redbubble offers more options for you guys if you're doing t-shirts. Like, and yeah, that's a good option. Like, I had some ideas for I wanted to do a like Nintendo cartridge with like Hero, like our cover on the Nintendo cartridge, like it was a video game. But that never made it onto the campaign, but it was something that I like to do on like a Redbubble or something like that. We'll see if that ever happens. But anyway, yeah,
that's cool. It's awesome ideas like that are always making everything like fun and quirky and bringing new people into it and stuff.
Yeah,
it's so much fun.
It's really fun to kind of experiment when you're doing those the IndieGoGo and the tiers and things like that. I mean, the whole point of this is to have a good time, right? Like, you enjoy making comics, so it should be fun doing the whole campaign. And like, I feel that from you guys. And that's why, like, when we were doing ours, like, we just started throwing out weird ideas for things. Like, and some of them stuck, and people like the getting knocked out one and stuff like that, or the not like getting your name on a knife, like Volk Volk kills people with knives. So if and once he kills somebody, he etches your name into the knife as like a memento to remember his kill. And like, it was something like, I just thought of that thing and I told him, and he's like, yeah, great. And then people bought a bunch of those things. It's really neat. It's a good way to be an Easter egg in the comics. So I don't know if you guys are doing stuff like that, but that's an easy way to get people to buy in at a higher tier level.
That's actually good to hear, because we have an idea for that. The intro to the comic is set up like a TV show. So each panel, there's a different credit on at the bottom of the screen, basically. So it says, screenplay by Philip Diaz. It has a set and costume design by Brandon Diaz. It's got lighting by Eugene, and then the last credit, I think it's like on the third page, it says executive producer, and then we're going to have that as a tier that someone could buy as they are going to be like the executive producer of the comic book. It'll be like a more expensive tier for that.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's cool.
Pretty fun idea.
You should have like you could have like all the like the best boy and like person dressed as dinosaur or like whatever, like like, and have all these like really stupid ones, and be like,
have like a poorly drawn Magic Cop in one panel. It's like Magic Cop stand-in was this guy.
Stunt double.
Magic Cop stunt double, and somebody you're like, that one's $75, but you could be guy in dinosaur costume for like $25 or something.
Right.
Whatever kind of crazy kooky idea you can come up with, people do like that. They think it's cool.
It's fun to we found that it's fun to add your friends within the industry as Easter eggs and things too. So I encourage you to have fun doing that too, because like that we number one, you got to be having a good time making this, and that's kind of the stuff that we really enjoy. So we're gonna keep working on it. And man, I think you guys are having fun because the book looks awesome.
Yeah, it's super fun. Super, I love creating characters, and I mean, even since I was a kid, just daydreaming different scenarios in my head, and I think that's what led me to want to write comics and be a writer. And this is just, it's my passion. I love doing it, and seeing the progress being made on it is awesome. Just seeing the next page come in, and then the colors be put on that, and then going in and lettering and that. And I wanted to say on our channel, we just started streaming for the first time this weekend. I did like a little lettering stream where I lettered, page 5, and Brandon was doing some sketches yesterday, streaming also. So cool. If you guys in the chat or whatever, you go check those videos out. They're still up there, and we do reviews and updates about the book on our channel all the time, like every week.
I'll put the link in the chat here.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks.
If you could subscribe to our channel, we're trying to get up to 100 subscribers so we could have youtube.com/ZadeComics.
You have 85 subscribers now because I just did it. All right, there's the link to their YouTube channel right there. Anybody that is out there watching this now or later, you should jump in and subscribe to that. Very cool. All right, so we are just at an hour, a little bit over an hour. So real quickly before we do our final sign-off stuff, I like to do a creator shout-out to somebody who's out there hustling on the indie comic scene. We have some friends that have a book out called Extractors. It's Aaron Calmary and Vic King. And Vic's an artist. He's been a big supporter of us, so it's Aaron. But they have the Extractors, and it's basically an insurance team. A major interplanetary insurance company has to reclaim their assets when their ships go missing or get damaged out in space. And these are the guys they send in to do it. And it looks crazy and a lot of fun. So I encourage everybody to check out the Extractors.
That sounds awesome.
The book looks fun. Carl Rowe did a cover for them.
Yes, he did.
Awesome.
Yes, he did. Yeah, Carl's a stand-up dude and does some crazy good art too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that'll be interesting because there's a lot that that book has a wide cast of characters.
Yep.
And that's like it's more complicated writing for a book like that with different personalities, and more like a team book. I would say that one's going to be. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. Oh, cool. So last thoughts, Brandon and Phil, give us your last thoughts. Is there anything else you want to say? Can we find you? And what do you want us to know?
I would say the best place would be go onto our YouTube channel, subscribe. All of our social media is in all of the descriptions of our videos. So you could follow us there, Twitter, Instagram. We each have an Instagram that we post progress pics, and even a Facebook page if you guys want to jump on that. But yeah, definitely sign up for the mailing list and get that peek of that pilot issue, because if you are a part of the mailing list and you do support us on the IndieGoGo, you'll get some extra goodies that the other guys won't. Those normies won't get.
That's right, muggles. Cool. Anything? You got anything, Brandon?
I don't know. Phil's always better at speaking about that than I am, but yeah, follow us and. Do
you have a Twitter, Brandon?
Oh yeah. Mine's at Zade Ninja.
Zade Ninja. Okay.
I have Instagram like that, and yeah, you can check that stuff out. I always show stuff.
Oh, I'm already following you. Good.
Sure. Yeah.
Sorry.
Make sure to follow for extra sexy pictures of Heli.
Okay. All right. Right on. Cool. Mutt, what do you got? Hit us with what you're thinking about.
Well, I can outro with the hero campaign because we need to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, we do.
All right, I'm going to share my screen and go through it real quick, and then we'll bounce out. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. So as you can see, we are sitting at 5673. We have been at 5673 for a few days now. We would love to break 5700. That can happen with just one purchase of our tier right here, this hero and swag, and with that you're going to get a signed copy of both me and Macho, because we live close together. We sign every physical book, so you get a signed copy of the book, you get a patch, a sticker, and also a signed poster. If you click right here in the top of our campaign, that'll take you right to the sign up where you can download the first 16 pages of our story absolutely free. Please go do that and make sure that you are read up on that, so that when you jump into Hero Blood of Patriots, you will know exactly what's going on, and we can get you right into the action. You can see on our campaign how Hero is created, what he can do, and you can also see lots of stretch goals. We've already unlocked the Colors by Vegas Day Real. That's our friend that we've been talking about tonight, who's also doing Magic Cop. And the next section is just going to be upgraded printing. That's at 6,000. We're right knocking on that door, so let's get that 6,000 knocked out, and then we'll move right on to Macho Grows His Dastardly Dan, curled mustache.
Yep.
His wife is highly upset about this, but that's okay. She understands it. She's going to take it for the team, and then the 7,000 is more content. If we get to 7,000, we're going to add some sweet content that people are going to love to this book. But that's all I wanted to talk about today. If you guys could just share it, talk about it. We want to get Hero out there in front of as many people as possible. The first pages are going to get colored. I have sent them already to Eugene, and he is coloring as we speak. So hopefully we'll have some of these guys colored up, and you can see those beautiful Hero pages very soon.
Yeah.
That's all I got. Macho, anything else you have?
Nothing else really specific. Once again, just wanted to thank our guests, Phil and Brandon. Thank you guys so much. It was really cool to talk to you, and I'm sure we'll be on again. We'll have you guys back once the campaign's rolling, and we'll see if we can get a bunch more people on. It looks like there is right now. There's probably a number of streams like Chester's going on. So there's a couple other things happening, but we'll have you guys on again. Talk about Magic Cop some more once you're launched and going, and hopefully get some people buying some books, man.
Yeah. Thanks for having us. And definitely, guys in the chat, hit that subscribe button down here and the like. Support this channel.
Appreciate it. Thank you
very much.
All right, guys. Well, I think that's it. Everybody check out Magic Cop, check out Hero, and we'll see you sometime next week. We'll put some sort of tweet out letting you know when we're going to go live again. All right. Let's everybody do a big oh yeah on 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah!
Dig it.